Hey everyone! Welcome to Meet the Pros. I'm Glenn Aspesley. I'm here at Ecamm headquarters doing our first evening broadcast of Meet the Pros. And I'm really excited to bring on our guest today. Our guest is coming to you live from Wednesday. He's Justin Brown from Primal Video. He's the co-founder of Primal Video. And I'm going to get everything else wrong, so I'm just going to bring him in and let him tell you all about Primal Video. So here is Justin Brown. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So we brought you on as a pro, and when I say pro, I mean you are a pro, right? I mean you have a serious video background, and I want to hear this origin story of yours. Tell us how you became Primal Video.
Okay, well, that's a big intro. So yes, I guess I have been working in professional video production for a very long time. I've worked with most of the major broadcasters out there creating content for them. Worked with big wave surfers and extreme sports athletes and followed them around the world doing crazy stuff. And I like to say that my chances of dying at work these days are a lot less than they used to be, jumping out of planes and breath hold and that kind of stuff. So I was also doing live streaming in Australia for Australian government as well. So pretty high up, just small stuff, nice. Government. Yeah, that's the really quick condensed version. So from that now, I work with my brother Mike. So you guys are brothers as well. I think that's pretty cool. And we run a company called Primal Video. That's it. We're taking over the world. It's all about the brothers. So nice. Yes, at Primal Video, we help people leverage video in their business and brand, or to grow their business and brand. There's a lot of people out there that are doing video, whether it's live or whether it's pre-recorded. They're not seeing that return on it in their business, and that's what we are pumped to help people with.
Nice. And we also noticed that you have a YouTube channel, right?
Just a
little tiny YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this YouTube channel. I mean, I noticed you have a few subscribers here.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know why they just keep going up for some reason. But So a YouTube channel, I guess, is the face of our business, and that's where we bring in organic leads and traffic into our business from there. So it's an amazing source. But the coolest part about it is we get to help a heap of people, an absolute ton of people, whether they end up taking those next steps with us in our business or not. And that's why we love YouTube. We're able to reach a lot of people by putting out free content, all designed to help people around video, around live streaming. And the flow on from that into our business is a big benefit as well. Very cool. So I love this like a videographer background. Is that the right word? Videographer? So you were actually the guy with the camera right back when you used to have to put them on your shoulder. Yes. And tapes and all sorts of things in there. And yes. I was always much more comfortable, and probably still am today, much more comfortable behind the camera and directing the shoot, or actually going and getting the shot instead of talking to that blacked off camera lens with a red flashing light. That's a little So I totally get it. For those of you that are worried about putting yourself out there and getting on camera live or just recording content, it was definitely pushing comfort zones and things for me as well. I was much more comfortable behind the scenes, and I still made all those mistakes that everyone does. And we've left those videos up there on the channel, so if you want a good laugh, then feel free to go back and do it. I swear in the first videos I didn't even...
So you can go all the way back in the channel and see all those old videos.
Yeah.
How did you make that transition though? How did you decide to be in front of the camera? Was that just an idea your brother had probably, and then Pretty much. We looked at it and went, okay, one of us is, in order to do this YouTube thing, one of us is going to need to be on camera. And his background is in corporate finance and startup businesses and mergers and acquisitions and those sorts of like business stuff. Whereas if we're going to be teaching and helping people with video, it'd probably make more sense to put the video guy in front of camera. So yeah, I tried to rock, paper, scissors, but I lost, let's say. Yeah. Nice. And since then, it seems like you've developed quite the on-screen, the confidence and character that you have on YouTube is obvious. Of course, it's not live like this most of the time, right? It's pre-edited, right? So
yes,
most of your
definitely.
videos, it seems like, are produced.
Editing is there for a reason, and it helps you remove all of those mistakes and all of those bad takes. So for anyone out there that says it's all right for you, you're good on camera, they don't see how long it actually takes me to make a lot of our content. So editing is there for a reason, and feel free to use it to polish up your content. But for us, we have a big focus on systems and processes, and for everything, even more specifically around our YouTube channel, everything is a system. So we streamline, we look for that 80-20 result. What's the 20% of things that are going to give us that 80% of results? And it is looking at things, how we can streamline the filming process, how can we streamline the editing process? And then that's the stuff that we teach to our students in our courses and programs and things.
So are the courses your main business, teaching people in an online course? Is that how you describe it?
I would say let's say the bulk of our income in the business comes from before people even realize that we have products and courses. So it comes from affiliate revenue from places like Amazon and from other affiliate programs where we are talking about their programs and using their programs, showing people how to use Ecamm Live. Perfect example. This is it. We have a big passion for helping people with this stuff, and any of the tools and any of the programs or things that people are going to use to accelerate their results, that's the stuff that we share. So the affiliate revenue for us is a big part of our business, but yes, we also have a membership program which has our YouTube courses and those sorts of things in it as well.
Very cool. Yeah, if anyone watching has not checked out Primal video channel, it's just it's sort of it's like fast paced, boom, boom, boom. Here's the top 10, coolest ways to do this or that, and it all really kind of circles back to tech and video and live streaming. Of course, is how so before Justin was an Ecamm Live user, we were seeing a lot of affiliate traffic coming from Primal Video. And that was all about our call recorder plugin, right? You must have done a video about call recorder, because we see that coming through still. I mean, that's probably been like 10 years, right?
It's crazy. So that's the beauty of YouTube, is you can do videos and they stay up there. And if you are if you're smart with the content that you're creating, you can look at what your target audience are searching for. And I know that was one that I personally struggled with. How do I record Skype calls, and how do I do it in a way that is easy, because I don't want to be stuffing around with the tech, even though I'm a tech guy. But how can I do it in the most effective way? And one of the standout features that you guys have in that, and still have today, that really no one else has, is the ability to do a recording and record separate video channels. So have a full screen version of me, full screen version of you on this call, and to be able to easily edit that. It's a standout feature. We had to do a video on it because this is solving a massive problem for people. So we look at what people are searching for on Google and YouTube, and we create those videos. And obviously that was the perfect fit. So that was something, I think, even before you had an affiliate program, we're just sending people your way, because it was the best, it still is the best solution for recording your Skype videos. Even now that Skype has that feature in there, it's not the same. It's missing those critical pieces that you guys have. And that's where, when you announced Ecamm Live, like, this is, I have some questions for you around how you ended up with this, because it really is, from someone who has worked with a lot of the top programs, a lot of the top hardware, even for live streaming. It is amazing the amount of features and everything that you have in Ecamm Live, that it's not overwhelming for people. My background, we've been doing lots of high-end live streams. We've been using TriCasters and a whole heap of hardware, and we've done Wirecast and those sorts of things. But for us, it is a no-brainer now. I'm not just saying this because it's us. I genuinely want to know how you ended up at Ecamm Live and where the idea came from, because it really is the simplest way for anyone, whether you're an absolute beginner right through to someone who is advanced and using all of this latest stuff, to be able to do it and create great looking live streams in a simple manner. So there's a question for you. How did this come about?
Well, thanks for all the compliments too. I mean, it means a lot to us. Ecamm Live is what? It's over 2 years old, and it's really been our primary focus all that time, and we're just having so much fun working on this, because like, people that are familiar with Ecamm, our apps were like really simple. Like, call recorder, one had like 3 buttons, and it recorded Skype. Our specialty was these simple plugins, and this is the complete opposite of that. It is what's grown into this really powerful program. And we kind of have one of our little secrets to making it powerful is the Mac onlyness of it. You know, if you watch Justin's videos, if you watch anyone's reviews of like live streaming software roundups, they always say, you know, like, well, this one, sorry guys, it's only Mac only, and you know that's kind of like a downside, but that actually lets us sort of harness a lot of the technology that Apple makes available to developers that you're really not going to see in a cross-platform tool. You know, like like this video, like I could talk about Ecamm Live for hours. You're trapping me into this.
This is good. Like I'm genuinely interested in this. And I'm sure your viewers are as well.
This stream, like if I look at Activity Monitor right now, and I'm genuinely curious here. So Skype is using a ton of CPU, but Ecamm Live is almost completely coming through on the graphics pipeline. And we're able to do that primarily because this is a Mac only. We can take advantage of the ability to kind of bring in video on the graphics card, do all the rendering pipeline on the graphics card, and code with the Mac's hardware encoder, and send it out without really taxing your computer a lot. Of course, Skype is the opposite. Skype is a cross-platform. You know, it's an Electron app. It's just like crushing the computer. So luckily Ecamm Live isn't. But yeah, I would say that's kind of like what makes the app so fun, is we're not wading through this big, you know, cross-platform monstrosity, and that also makes supporting it a lot more fun because there's only like a few Macs, right? Like it's not like we're supporting we're not supporting 1,000 different configurations. It's also a great excuse to buy all sorts of cameras and microphones and gadgets and tech, and we love the you know, like if you looked at my desk, it's just covered in like every single camera, every single gadget imaginable. So it's a lot of fun.
That's what it's about. It's about the tech and the toys. My office, my normal filming background office, is like a toy room, really, and it's the same stuff. We get to do what we enjoy, and that's what I think really resonated with me with you guys, is that, and the community that you're building, is that it really is a community about people who are like-minded. Really, like you have some amazing people in the community, and you just attract those people because you can tell how passionate you are about this and about people being able to do this stuff easily. So that was a big thing that attracted us to you, and I can see that in your community as well.
That's a new experience for us too. Well, relatively new. We never had like sort of a community thing like that going on. And with Facebook, you know, I almost feel like it happened organically, where the Ecamm Live community and the beta community, you know, trading ideas, helping each other. We were always kind of weary about having sort of like a help, even to those help forums where like someone will post something and then someone will help them, but they're like completely wrong, you know. And then someone else goes, "Oh, me too," and it's like, ah. So it's nothing like that. You know, this community is awesome. They're helping each other. They're knowledgeable, and they're just fantastic. And that's been a really fun aspect of this.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that would help you with your support too. You're getting support from the whole community in there long before you guys even have to chime in. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. People will ask a question and someone else will come in and say, "I do that every day. You know, here's how I do it," and everyone's happy. And,
yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, we talked a lot about Primal Video and about Ecamm Live, but we haven't really touched on. So you do live stream occasionally, right?
So not as much as pre-recorded video. We release one video every week on YouTube, and we have been consistent with that for, I think, 4.5 years now. It's not about the amount of content. There's a lot of people out there telling you got to do 3-4 videos a week to be successful. Well, hey, we do just one, and our students and the people that we teach and help, they do just one, and I think we're going okay. So it's not about the amount of content, but yes, we do some live streams as well. We actually came off the back of running a live 3-part or 3-day training series. I think it was last week, and we used Ecamm for that. So that was we put it out. So we're running this free training. It was almost like a webinar, but it was run over 3 days, and it was live to an unlisted YouTube video. So we use YouTube for the platform, and in order to access that, you had to register to get the link for that.
Yeah, so, a lot of people don't realize, like, they want to do some sort of private broadcast, and they think they need to use some sort of like a hosting service for their video. You know, like they don't realize you can just go to an unlisted YouTube, and it's just exactly the same as that. probably
and
better
in our experience, that's way better, and it's way easier to get set up because you've then got support with software like Ecamm. You can bring in the chat and all those sorts of things. A lot of the other paid services out there for hosting your live streams, they're an absolute pain in the ass. Like you almost have to guesstimate how many viewers you're going to have on there, and then you're paying per view hour or view minute. So if your live stream blows up, it could be really, really expensive, or you're prepaying something and you don't hit that number. I mean, all of this stuff, we just push our clients and stuff away from that. It's like, just use YouTube, go unlisted.
And I love YouTube's live streaming because it looks exactly like a pre-recorded video. I mean, the quality is just unbelievable. Somehow they're transcoding this thing into several different resolutions on the fly. And it's just like, so if you stream in 1080p, it's like this perfect crystal clear 1080p that looks like it could be pre-recorded, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are creating content that way now as well. They're just pushing them out as live, treating it like doing an intro and everything as if it is live, and then they're using YouTube's trim feature afterwards just to trim off the end or the Q&A part. So
I don't think I've used that on YouTube. So you can trim it. You can trim it pretty easily. That's good to know. Yeah. I
think you have to wait maybe 15 or 20 minutes after you're live for it to finish processing or something. But then, there's an edit button under the YouTube Studio dashboard. And you can trim off, and you can even remove sections if you want. It's not just a basic trim. You can do some basic editing in there too.
Cool. So you do when you say weekly, is it a scheduled time?
So this was
so
every few months we run a training like this. So this one was here, how to grow your business and brand with YouTube without paid ads. Nice. So it was specifically on that topic, and over the 3 days, that's what we were teaching people how they can do it. So yes, it was unlisted on YouTube, and we were using Ecamm for it. We're interacting, bringing the comments in, the chat in, and everything. So it makes it so easy, and it's fun then to interact, and it's also fun for people on there to leave comments and have their comments and things featured. I think that is a really big feature that a lot of people don't underestimate the power of that. Having someone else having them really seen. It's all right to acknowledge them in the comments, but to bring their comment up on screen on a lot of different levels, it is a huge thing.
Yeah, here's a comment from Alex. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. We're glad that you find this so easy and simple, because that's our goal with everything we try to put into this. So this before this live, I kind of customized. This is a feature most people haven't noticed because it's kind of hidden. But you can apply a text, a font, and a color, and you can put a different color for the person as you do for the text. It's kind of in a different font, and that'll stick. So next time I do another comment, that's all going to stay in there. So kind of a neat little plug for a hidden feature there. But I'd love to know what other Ecamm Live features you take advantage of when you do your broadcasts.
Okay, so a standout feature that I think Ecamm has that none of the others have is that the ability to zoom in and pan around so easily on your screen shares. So if I'm running a tutorial, like an editing tutorial, if I was using Wirecast, or if I was pretty much using any other live streaming software out there, you could set up a predetermined piece of your screen that you're going to share, and that's about it. But if I wanted to zoom in on something on Ecamm, you just pinch to zoom on your trackpad, and it's just amazing how simple it is to do it while you're live, and to move the screen around and those sorts of things. You can't do that in anything else. So that's a really simple thing, again, that I'm sure a lot of people have missed if they've tried and just gone, yep, that's the screen share.
I love the gestures on a trackpad. I love being able to pinch and zoom on a trackpad, but the problem with those features is they're not discoverable at all. They're like whenever you do a feature that involves pinching and zooming, it's hidden. It's unless you bring up some big animation going, hey, did you know you can do this?
But that was one that was a standout feature for sure. The comments is a great one. I love the virtual webcam, virtual camera out in the pro version as well.
Oh, good. We're using that right now.
Okay, awesome.
The Skype call, Justin can see the stream in real time through the virtual cam. So if I change to just him, he can see that happening during the actual.
Guy's face. So. So that's I've really killed that conversation there. But yes, that's an amazing feature.
I'm gonna
and again,
have to go back
a lot of the other thank you. pro software, you're spending a lot to have access to those sorts of things, like upwards of $600, $700 plus. So I love that this stuff is in there, and it's just so simple. But also being a tech person, I love that you've got the bandwidth monitor in there. I obviously coming from background in live streaming, your internet is the biggest variable. The biggest chances of something going wrong when you're live is likely going to be your internet dropping out or having fluctuations in speed. So just to give me peace of mind while I'm live, I like to be able to monitor the bandwidth so that I can see that, yes, we're pushing through a steady stream and it hasn't actually dropped. And it's kind of the fault finding stuff while you're live. You don't want to be doing it. It's it's good to quick glance and see that everything's all good.
I'm glad you're using the window. I mean, we debated about whether to add something like that, because if your internet is screwy during your live, like, there's really nothing you can do about it. Like you said, it's peace of mind, but it's not like, I don't know if it's really actionable information when you're actually live, right? I mean, unless you have some fallback internet connection you can switch to.
But at least then people could be upfront about it. So if you're still going to do a live and you find that your internet is bad, you can let your viewers know. So set the expectations. Hey, look, I just had to go live right now. But I don't know how good the internet is. So if it drops in and out, stick with me. I might post a recording of this afterwards because Ecamm's doing the recording to your local computer. So we're going to push through, but hopefully you can see me and hear me all good. But if it does drop out, I apologize. This is the best we can do. So you're setting that expectation on your live stream.
That's a good tip.
And then you'll find that people, they're open, like they're happy then. Like, oh, you've told me you might have issues. Yeah, there was one little glitch or something in there, or maybe nothing. But at least you've mentioned that it might happen. Seems to work okay.
Yeah. What else? Anything else? Have you tried the Stream Deck yet?
Love the Stream Deck. We've been using the Stream Deck since I've got one sitting right here. Actually, it's not plugged in, but I've got one sitting right here.
Nice.
So. Love it. Love the features. I was using Stream Deck with Ecamm back when we had to program our own buttons. So love that you guys have the integration with the Stream Deck now. It makes it so much easier. So for anyone who is serious about this stuff and wants you don't need it, but it's the extra control without needing to touch your keyboard and those sorts of things. And it might be like, oh, there's already keyboard shortcuts. The Stream Deck is a game changer, and it makes it so much easier to control.
For those 9 of you that are watching live, and you don't, if you're not on the beta, the Stream Deck integration is going to be released tomorrow.
Well, there you go. Breaking news.
Yeah,
there it is. It's out.
You heard it here first. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's another one of those things. Like, it's all around making your life easier. And while you're live, you don't want to be sitting there clicking around and finding things. You kind of want to keep your eye contact with your viewers as much as you can. And just having something like the Stream Deck, you don't have to go into menus. You don't have to click and look for your mouse cursor and those sorts of things. You can literally change between screen share, between different camera angles or preset scenes, really, with the click of a button. So it's good.
Yeah, I like setting up at the very last minute. Kind of puts a little pressure on. Like, okay, got 10 minutes. Got to make titles. Got to make scenes. Got to set up the Stream Deck. Got to find some music. Got to find a background. As you can see, I'm just using one of the stock backgrounds because I ran out of time. But,
it actually looks really good.
It's not bad. Yeah, this camera really shows my blemishes, though. I mean, I'm gonna need something that's a little more. Probably can't see it in the broadcast.
Down to hide the grey hairs that are coming through from 5 years of talking on YouTube. So
they're hidden well. They're hidden.
Thank you. I'm doing my best.
This background, I think, is just one of the stock images that's built into the app.
Okay.
And when we posted this originally in the beta, someone zoomed in on the book titles, and there was like a really bizarre book title in there. I don't remember, something about. I think we photoshopped it out. Yeah,
that's pretty funny. It's amazing, like the lengths that people will go to and the stuff that they will find. There's people that comment about the stuff that's in the background of our videos, saying, "Why is the Samsung Gear 360 laying down? Isn't that scratching the lens? I can't watch this video." It's like, it's all out of focus. You've done well to work out that that's what that one camera is on the shelf.
Yeah.
Let alone
that is kind of like that is a video tip, right? Though, don't put something in the background that's going to like draw everyone's attention.
Yeah.
It should be like stuff like this stuff back here is probably too distracting. Like, You really want
those two horses.
You want someone's eyes to go like to you, not to like the lens getting scratched on the camera or something like that.
That's it. The focus needs to be on you and the content, and try not to distract them as much as you can. Yeah, that's it. Great tip.
Any other tips for us? So,
with live streaming, I would say the biggest one is to run a couple of speed tests first. That was hands down. Just go to speedtest.net, run a couple. And again, if it's not ideal, try a hotspot, try a different location. But yeah, if you still have to go live, then just be upfront about it. That's probably the biggest tip. I would say countering what you just said before and not leave the setup for the last minute. Go through and do a test run wherever possible, and create things like titles and have a bit of a plan in place before you go live. Ahead of time, even if it is things like your intro, nailing your intro. You got to think of your replay viewers that are coming on to watch your video. I would say that most people watch the live stream afterwards, so you want to hook them in immediately so that they're going to stick around longer in the live stream. And also, you probably don't want to be interacting too much with the people in the comments progressively throughout. You want to do it at certain times so that you're not just cutting yourself off mid-sentence, especially if it's in the content piece. That's going to annoy the replay viewers again, who are just waiting for you to get to the point, and they're not there. They can't interact with you live, so they'll feel like they're missing out. And if you keep stopping sentence midway through to say, "Oh, hi Glenn, great to see you in here. Remember to share this out," and then, "Oh, where was I?" It's going to be really distracting and hard for people to follow on.
That is important. I mean, especially for someone like me that's very distractible. Like, I almost want to hide the comments, like a comment comes up and you just completely forget it with what you're going to say, before the comment showed up. Now you just want to talk about the comment, and it just completely derails the continuity of the video.
A quick way to derail a live stream as well is when someone puts in the comments, "I can't hear," or "there's no sound," or something like that. As the presenter, you immediately go into panic mode thinking, "Can no one hear me? Can no one hear me?" But in most cases, it's that person has the video muted or something. So don't freak out. See that? I mean, obviously ask the question. It says, "Oh, someone says they can't hear us." Just checking you can hear and see me all good. I'm going to keep going, but let me know if you can't. So you want to pull back to your content or back to your presentation as fast as you can. Don't just stop it there, because you will find that, I mean, I even clicked this one here so I can see the chat and everything, and it came up default mute. So, which is good for now, but you want to make sure that you've got people that are probably watching on mute. And I know that YouTube...
If nobody can hear you, I guess it technically doesn't matter what you say, right?
That's right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. But then you'll probably have a few more people than saying that they can't hear you or see you. Yeah.
I gotta switch these things. It's running out of batteries. Say something.
Hi, I'm Justin. Okay. I'm just doing an audio check.
In my other ear before I take that out.
Getting fancy with the AirPods.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty reliable.
I'm just in cables. They're not going to go flat.
So I'm just looking at my notes here. Like we covered a lot of topics. This is really fun.
Can I ask one more question then? Because I don't think we really got to it. But
you want.
How did you come from call recorder to Ecamm Live? Or, I mean, and obviously it wasn't just call recorder. There was others in there as well. You had FaceTime recorder and a lot of other ones. But where did you find, hey, there is not the perfect solution for live streaming? How did you then go, let's make it? We have this integration already, Skype APIs and those sorts of things that we've dialed in. We've got access to that. But why live streaming, and how did this really come about?
This was something that happened quite some time ago, so I have to think about this a little bit. But it was really...
I've just put you on the spot.
I mean, we, as a small software company, we have this... We don't have a ton of, engineering resources or support resources. So we've always approached new products, very carefully. Like, what do we want to do as far as, something that's going to be... Why did the lights turn on?
Nice. It happens. This stuff happens while you're live.
Oh, I have a timer. I have a timer set to shut off my lights at 9:30.
This means that we're speaking too long.
Yeah, we're out. So we've always very carefully chosen what we want to work on, because we don't want to work on something that's going to be a support issue. We don't want to work on something that is just going to be this big can of worms. So we always approach it very carefully, and we felt that we could produce something that that met people's expectations for an Ecamm product. As far as why we chose live streaming, we were really sort of attracted to this Facebook Live concept when it first launched, and this idea that you could go live, and we saw that kind of that niche, that hopefully that sweet spot between free open source products that have a really big learning curve, and something like Wirecast that costs lots and lots of money and is out of most people's reach for something like a casual live stream. I don't think we really fully understood the different areas of live streaming. That came later, learning about all the cool things you can do with cool reasons people are using live streaming, but it's just kind of like taken on a life of its own, I guess, and kind of gotten more and more fun as we added more things. It started out extremely simple, 1.0, and has grown to something that has dozens and dozens of neat features. And it's been quite the journey, I would say. So what would you like awesome. What would you like to see in the product, Justin, that we haven't gotten around to adding? Any wish list you have?
I do have one thing, and you've nearly got it. So we use Ecamm Live not just for live streaming, but we also use it for recording course content. We used to use apps like ScreenFlow to record screen and record webcam and those sorts of things, and we still do from time to time, but we're in the process of creating course content at the moment. And Ecamm Live, especially when it's paired with the Stream Deck to easily switch between, we're essentially able to record our course content as if it was live, while doing the editing and those sorts of things live, switching cameras, so I can do the welcome, and then I can click over to the slides and present to slides. I can set up all of these scenes and things ahead of time, so that if I want the picture-in-picture or me down the bottom left or right-hand corner, we can have all of that set up. So the time for us to produce content has dropped significantly in recording it as if it's live. Obviously, you can still edit it and remove any mistakes and those sorts of things afterwards. But I would say that my wish list feature will be, you've just improved one of them, which is 4K capabilities, where that's coming. And I would say the ability to adjust the frame rate, at least on the recording. Okay. So I'm in Australia, and a lot of our filming and everything is done at 25 frames per second. 25. I know that a lot of people, 25, 30 is probably... I thought
you were going to say 24. 25.
Okay, so 24 is kind of the standard worldwide for film and for cinema.
Oh, okay, that's what that. Okay.
And then 25 is the PAL standard for places like UK and Australia, and I think maybe Japan. I'm not sure about that one. Or 30 frames per second is US, is the standard for broadcast. 29.97 if we're getting specific. But it would be cool to be able to set the different frame rates, at least on the recording. I don't think it matters too much on the broadcast side for live streaming, but
when you go to bring it into like an NLE, it kind of gets a little angry if there's...
It gets a little angry because it's variable. So it actually shifts and changes. So there's some video editing software like Adobe Premiere that does struggle a little bit with it, whereas others like Final Cut doesn't really have an issue with it. I mean, there's workarounds, there's fixes, but having the ability to say, just save my file at 25 or 30 or whatever it is, that would be my request.
Cool. I thought you were going to say recording like the RAW from each camera at the same time.
Okay, so that would be another one, right? Why not? That's
so you get like the Ecamm Live output, but also like the the raw footage from like the different cameras that you're using. That would be kind of cool too.
That would be really cool, and that's something that was a standout feature that you had in the Skype call recorder. So that was huge. But in this case, what we're using it for isn't necessarily that. That would replace ScreenFlow altogether. That would be the only reason that we are using ScreenFlow, because it does record and you can change stuff afterwards. But again, this is a wish list for me because I love the setup on Ecamm, and we're always trying to push it and see what we can do with it. You've got to see what the people want.
Have you played around with the 4K streams, the 4K recording yet?
Yeah,
the screen
4K
sharing?
recording worked really, really well. So we've done it with the Logitech Brio and with the Panasonic GH5 using a Elgato Camlink 4K.
Cool. Does your
And,
our Brio does a weird thing. Sometimes when you plug it into the Mac, it's 1080, and then literally you unplug it and plug it back in, and it's 4K. And I don't know if anyone else is seeing this weird problem.
Are you using the cable that came with it?
Yes.
Okay. Try swapping the cable.
Not.
Because I know that even for me with this setup now, I'm on the Logitech Brio, and I didn't bring the cable that came with it, and I swapped it with a different cable, and it was kind of dropping in and out. Swapped it for another, and these are all USB-C cables. Swapped it for another one, and I was getting 1080. I swapped it for another one, and I went straight to 4K. So it could be the cable, but what we have found is that the one that comes with it, especially if you plug it into a hub or something like that, it's not always allowing the full bandwidth through from the camera, especially in 4K.
So I think
hopefully that's something
4K.
fixed.
I think this camera is 4K. Well, I'm not broadcasting in 4K, but what that means is I should be able to zoom in, do the digital zoom in Ecamm, and maintain my quality, right? So, so I'm zoomed all the way. That's the max digital zoom, and you can still see like all my very detailed face. And
Nice.
So that's one advantage to the 4K input is.
I was trying to find. No, I closed it. I had the Logitech Brio camera control open before, and I could have copied you, but I closed it. Now I don't want to open it because it could change stuff, and you don't want to tweak and change stuff while you're live, just in case.
Going off script.
We got way off script. Yeah. That's good.
The other that also is in the 3.2 that's coming out tomorrow, the 4K. I'm really excited about that. And if you're a YouTube person like Justin, the 4K is awesome on YouTube. It just, I don't know, I don't have anything to watch 4K with, but I think you need and Safari is not going to even offer it to you. Safari is just don't even bother. But Chrome, we go to YouTube and Chrome, you'll see that 4K option, and you can punch it up in business. So it's a pretty cool feature.
Do you limit the bandwidth or for 4K? Obviously, YouTube's got its ideal requirements. I think it's 25 to 35 megabits per second for 4K. From Ecamm's perspective, what do you send? Do you just send whatever's available, or obviously you're applying some compression on the way through?
We're coming up with a bit rate for that based on the dimensions, and I think it is around low 20s. For the 4K, and then of course what Ecamm Live will do is, if it's just having no luck sending up 23, it's gonna ramp down the bit rate until it can empty its buffer, and then it might try to bring it back up a little more, but then go no, I can't do that, and it'll kind of find the right bit rate dynamically. Yeah, awesome. But I think it'll start out at around 22, 23 megabit at 4K.
Awesome. There was a new feature that YouTube released fairly recently, and it's now variable bandwidth. So you don't have to say, I'm going to send you a 1080p stream or a 720p, and then if you weren't able to keep up with that feed, that it would drop down. Now it's actually variable. So if you are only sending at a lower speed, or for whatever your internet drops down and you can't keep up with that 1080p, it will drop the stream to 720 for you until you've got that back up. So it's pretty cool that they've finally got that. I think that's something that Facebook had been doing for quite a while, in that if you weren't keeping with it, it would drop it.
Yeah, and you can change your bandwidth throughout. You definitely can't change your resolution. Once you pick a resolution, that's your resolution. But you can definitely alter your bandwidth as needed, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So one thing I don't want to forget to ask you is, I couldn't help noticing that you have 370,000 subscribers on YouTube. What's your secret?
Secret. I think we're at 307. What's the secret? The secret is, and it's not really a secret. This is what we teach. This is what we share.
What's your wisdom?
My wisdom, my takeaway wisdom would be to have some thought into the videos that you are creating, and do some research first before you create your videos. And what I mean by that is, where we started and where most people start is they'll say, this is a great idea for a video. I'm going to go create this video. I'll film it. The only time they go and give the title, the description, and the tags any thought is when they're on that upload page on YouTube and they're like blank fields. Oh, what do I put in here? What should I call this? That's totally backwards. And in order to actually create videos that work on YouTube, you've got to remember that YouTube is first and foremost a search engine. So if you're creating search engine friendly traffic or videos, then you're going to find that traffic. So we use tools like Keywords Everywhere, and it will tell us the search volumes as a free tool, the search volumes for what people are searching for.
Oh, interesting.
So we come up with topics. We go to the autofill bar on Google and YouTube, and we start typing in some of the things. You know how Google and YouTube suggest, oh, did you mean this?
Right.
So that's a great indication that people are searching for those things, because it's suggesting that you might also like to search for what other people are searching for. So what that Keywords Everywhere plugin does is it overlays in that search box the amount of search volume or search traffic per month that search term is having. So if we've got a video that we want to do and it's got 0 search traffic, it's very unlikely that video is going to succeed organically with people finding it, because we know that there aren't people actively searching for it. So we'll go and look for topics and things and say, all right, filming on iPhone has X amount of people searching for it per month. Let's create that video. Or best live streaming software on Mac. There's one I think we've got coming out. If it didn't come out this week, it's out next week. We redo those videos every year because we know that that's a pain point for people. And if you're giving away stuff, I'll give away our top one for Mac was Ecamm Live. I think it's 2nd or 3rd year in a row. So there you go. But this is the stuff that we look at the search volumes first. Treat YouTube as a search engine, and that way you're not hidden hope. You're not just throwing it up and hope that your videos stick and filter into the algorithm. There is search volume for those videos. You can then tailor up the video content themselves, what you're saying in the video, to match that, so that you're solving the problem that people are searching for. Best video editing software on Mac, or best live streaming software on Mac. That's you need to then solve that for them or give them some solutions in your video. So it's not hard, but it's just taking that step back and don't create the content that you necessarily want. Create the things that your audience is looking for.
Cool. So I did notice when I went on there onto your channel that I saw that you're keeping those videos fresh. Is that a big and important part? Are people looking for, like, they don't want like a 2017 video about something, they're looking for the 2019 roundup, is that something?
Well, it's something that you'd always question, right? Is if you saw a video best X for Y, I was like, well, this video was uploaded 3 years ago. Is that still the best one? Why can't you just tell me what the best one is now? So whether that is still relevant, we still keep, whether nothing has changed, we'll still update a handful of videos. So best video editing software, best live streaming software, we do those every year to keep those current. But for the rest of them, we try to create evergreen content. So content that is going to stay relevant for as long as possible. But obviously in the tech space, there's a lot of stuff changing and a lot of new options. And every time we redo all of those videos, there are some big changes. Like probably the biggest change we've had this time is on the video editing side. Some of our top recommended programs previously for the last few years, they're not even in the short list now because there's some new apps, things that are out.
What should we be using for our video editing? I got to watch that video. iMovie all the way.
My answer is going to be whichever one is going to be the fastest for you to edit and to get content out there. I mean, they're all just tools to edit video, but there's a few that I obviously can narrow the list down for you, and I'm just going to leave you with a generic answer like that.
Nice.
I'm actually really on Filmora at the moment, and Filmora was something that was really a gimmicky toy terrible program not that long ago, but what they've done recently, and say probably the last 2 years, and how far they've come on both their Filmora 9, the entry level, I think it's around $60 as a one-time purchase, but also their pro version. Their pro version, kind of laughed when I saw that. Pro, how pro is it? No, it's actually up there with Adobe Premiere Pro, and we put the two side by side. It's a big call. So that's probably a standout that I never thought that we'd be saying that, but yeah. They're just tools to edit video. So.
We'll check that out. So this has been really fun, Justin. I'm so glad you could join us from Wednesday, coming live on Tuesday night. and it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. We can talk for hours like this. It's just this is good. This is good.
Yeah, so it's actually my like the kids' first day back to school. So I set my alarm clock for 6:30 in the morning, which I don't usually do. So I'm starting to feel. I don't know how long I could go actually.
Nice.
I'm not used to
that's
setting
all
my
good.
alarm clock. But this is awesome. We should do another Meet the Pros soon. This is awesome. And thanks for joining us, everyone who's watching. And thanks for all the great comments. I will we'll be down there. If you have any questions for Justin, or for me, or our team, post them in the comments, and we'll all be on there this evening and tomorrow morning answering your questions. So feel free to post anything that we didn't touch on, anything you want to know from Justin. And thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.